Catwalk. This is Star Trek Enterprise Season 2. There's some nebula thingy, some anomalies, whatever. The Enterprise is going into it. They're going to take all these cool readings, and then these three guys are like, no, don't go in there. You're going to be screwed. There's a storm coming. It's going to kill everybody. So they take the aliens on board, and they've got to live in the Catwalk for a few weeks while they pass through it, because that's the only safe spot there is. But while they're there, there's these other aliens on board who are stripping stuff, stealing stuff, and looking for those three aliens that are stowing away. I'm going to give the storyline a 1. We're going to review this with my space system. So story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment in each category gets a score between 0 and 2. 2 is the best you can get. So I'm going to give it the storyline a 1 point. It's fine. It's good. You meet aliens. There's some problems to solve. There's some nice little character things. It's just like, it's not, you weren't super excited. Like, you knew that these guys were either criminals or there's something weird about them. Turns out they're not actually, they're criminals, but not in like a bad way. It's sort of like you kind of feel bad for them and you're on their side. The aliens that do appear on the ship, they're kind of assholes. They're just taking stuff, and Archer's like, yeah, this is our ship, like, get off. They're like, no, we're not getting off. You're like, oh, okay. So that's kind of crappy. Their ship, the alien ship, and these people can withstand the radiation that's from this nebula or whatever. So the tension, I'll give the pacing a 1. The tension is building in the sense that the crew can only go into the other parts of the ship wearing a suit, and they can only stay there for like 20 minutes or something. So you got to get everything done quickly. I did like the pacing. It's a little bit slower because in the beginning it's a lot of character stuff, like just them hanging out in the catwalk and doing things. And then the story picked up after that, but I wasn't bored or anything, so I'm still giving it a 1 point. Like, I mean, I still thought it was well paced. Yeah. So artistry, I'll give it a 1.5. Everything looked good. The effects in the nebula and the gas cloud or whatever it was. I don't remember all the names of these things. Sorry. I usually watch like 4 or 5 at a time and then I review these. So I'm doing a lot of this off memory. I'm not going to remember all the characters' names or the alien names. I just want to make these quick videos just to give you my thoughts on it. Give it a 1.5 for the artistry. Everything looked good. I'm watching it on my 4K TV. It's not in 4K. It's in Blu-ray, but still. So all that was pretty cool. Yeah, there wasn't a battle or anything really, but like, it looked good. It was mostly a ship one, but there was some outside stuff. So can't give it a full 2 marks, but definitely a 1.5 because it does look good to me. And for the time, I thought everything looked really cool. When I was watching this on TV, I was like, wow, this is awesome. The characters, I do have to give it a 2 out of 2 for characters because I have a show for the characters on Enterprise. I love them all. Great character moments here where they're stuck together and they're trying to figure out what, like, how to pass the time. And, Malcolm's like, oh man, this food sucks. And why didn't you, and he's done on a trip, like, why didn't you build a shower? He's like, listen, you're lucky you got a toilet. Like, what do you want from me? I had 4 hours. So that's great. They're playing games and then the aliens are cooking all this smelly food. They're like, oh, they're keeping us up because they don't sleep. And there's some good character stuff. To Paul and Archer there, and they're on their pad like beep 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 beep, and and he's like watching the polo match or whatever on his iPad, and he's like, oh, am I disturbing you? She's like, oh, a little bit. And he's like, okay, sorry. And then he's like, and then she's like, beep 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 beep. It's like, oh, am I disturbing you? Yeah, kind of. Oh, sorry, right? And then Porthos comes in, the dog, and she's just like, because the smell of humans is already weird, so she's got that tension to Paul, and then the dog comes in, you're just like, oh no. So that was all really well done. So I love the characters here. The aliens were pretty good. I like the aliens. The bad guys were pretty bad. Like, they're assholes and you're like, yeah, I want to see these guys get stopped. So most of the time I give a 1 point for just the Enterprise crew being good. And then I give like an extra point or 2 or an extra point for the other characters. So you got your alien characters, you got your villains in this episode, and they were really good. So I'm going to give it a 2 out of 2 for characters. Love the characters here. Because of that, I'm going to give the enjoyment factor a 1.5. I do really like this episode. I'm not dying over it. Season 1 and Season 2, I don't think anything is getting less than a 7, to be honest. This one's a 7 out of 10. I don't think I've given a below 7 on any episode. And most of them were, 9s and 10s. And there's going to be a bunch of 10s actually coming up pretty soon. So if you're watching these when they come out, there's going to be a few 10s coming up already. So yeah, I love this season so far. It's been awesome. That's it, everybody. If you like my space system, please like the video, consider subscribing, check out the playlist for Star Trek. It's all good. I'm doing original series and Enterprise. I did those two because I remember for sure those are all like super solid. I do like Voyager a lot, and I kind of love Deep Space Nine. Next Gen might be my weakest, which is like, what the heck? But yeah, I don't know. But anyways, we'll maybe eventually we'll just do them all. I think maybe I'll just do all the Star Treks. We'll see how it goes. But I want to do Blake 7 coming up as well. So we're going to finish Enterprise, though. That's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Until next time.